Before we dive too deep into this week's action, let's first put a wrap on the week that was with another edition of Top Plays and Prime Time Performance. We're going to start this week's installment over in the college ranks, where the Lehigh women struggled with their outside shooting in the first half of Wednesday's showdown with Loyola Maryland, but the Mountain Hawks caught fire in the second thanks to Mackenzie Kramer, who counted 16 of her team-high 21 points after halftime. The junior hitting the biggest shot of all with just 1.4 seconds left in regulation and Lehigh down 53-50. Kramer breaking off a screen and knocking down the tying bucket. Lehigh would then post 19 points in the bonus session en route to a 72-65 win. Kramer crossing the 20-point plateau for the 6th time this season. Speaking of buzzer beaters, we saw one of those in high school girls hoops as well. Central Catholic guard Molly Driscoll beating the first quarter horn Tuesday at Liberty. Just the start of a monster week for the junior. She'd finished with 11 points against the Hurricanes, sinking a big tray at the close of the third to break a 30-30 tie, before recording a game-high 22 points Friday as the Vikings overwhelmed Emmaus for their 5th straight win. Driscoll with a baker's dozen in the first half, including the first 5 points of the second quarter, as Central pushed its lead into double digits and never looked back. The junior also with a few brilliant assists as the Vikings enter the week at 14-3 overall and just one game back of Parkland in the EPC West Division. Vikings on a 5-game winning streak, while Northwestern Lehigh ran its consecutive victory stretch to 14 in a row last week. Tigers started the week with a crossover triumph against Freedom on Monday, a winning effort powered by a game-high 19 points from forward Paige Severin. The senior also ripped down 8 rebounds and dished out 5 assists as Northwestern prevailed by 10. The Tigers then won again Friday at Moravian Academy. Severin a game-high 16 in that outing as she's now reached double figures in 5 straight. No one, though, in area girls basketball is on a better roll this season than Easton, which still has yet to lose a single game. The Red Rovers moving to a perfect 16-0 Saturday with a victory over fellow EPC power Parkland. A 17-4 run in the second stanza helped put this one out of reach. Megan and Mallory Elias combined for a trio of trays, while Evelise Cole and Anya Staten dominated down low, the latter finishing with a double-double of 15 points and 11 rebounds. The unbeaten Rovers host Deerfield tonight before traveling to Bethlehem Catholic on Friday. Over on the boys' side, a team that certainly hit its stride in recent weeks is Allentown Central Catholic, and that continued last week with wins over Liberty and Emmaus. Sophomore Lucas Mushrush was the offensive star Tuesday, connecting on a season-high 5 3-pointers in the Vikings' 13-point win over the Hurricanes. After a pair of 3 balls in the opening period, Mushrush, appropriately, splashed down a trio of trays in the third, finishing with a team-high 19 points. The sophomore then tallied 18 in Friday's victory against the Green Hornets, a quartet of threes this time around, as his 18 points were bested only by teammate Nico Puleri's game-high 19, as Central won its 3rd straight and 8th in 9 outings since Christmas. Parkland also won 3 straight, Trojans securing wins last week over Becca, Whitehall, and Easton. Senior Joey Gervasio reached double figures in all 3 games, powering Tuesday's triumph with a season-high 17 points. Gervasio's big night featured 4 3-pointers. He then dropped 10 Friday at Whitehall, where fellow classmate Matt Ray was the team's offensive standout. After failing to score at all in the first half, Ray erupted in the second, converting a trio of trays in the third quarter before counting 11 of his season-high 20 points in the fourth. Trojans then got 26 from Nick Koval on Saturday at Easton in moving to 11-5 on the year. Well, finally, we will close this week's top plays with last week's showdown between 2 of the Colonial League's elite, where Notre Dame Green Pond took over sole possession of the top spot in the conference, thanks to a 74-66 victory over Palmerton. A game in which junior Colin Boyle registered a career-high 21 points, adding 10 assists as well, as the Crusaders won their 6th straight ball game. 13-3 Notre Dame Green Pond visits Northwestern Lehigh later tonight.